Good, great, grand. Let's go.
What you got, big fella?
Well, I stumbled across the Bloomberg article the other day. I was doing some reading, and I saw something that struck me as just wild. Like, just never in my lifetime, at the ripe old age of 37, did I ever think that I would ever see this happen in the United States of America. But I don't really know how the law, I don't know what the actual verbiage of the law is, other than the simple fact of effective January 1, 2024, the sale of gasoline-powered outdoor lawn equipment is banned in the state of California.
They done lost their mind.
Now, what are you going to do with all those contraband grandfathered?
Well, no, it just says California ban on gas-powered lawn tools take effect in 2024. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read.
So you can't sell them.
So you got one of those pre-banned weed whackers.
Or you're
Pre-banned.
bootleg because you're going down across the border in Mexico. You're not bringing drugs back. You're bringing back an old steel weed eater.
Well,
Them sons of bitches got the lawn equipment loophole going on over there.
Yeah.
My granddaddy gave me this when he was 12. Bullshit, it's a brand new model.
So, and like I said, I was reading this article, and I'm not gonna name the actual journalist that did it, but let's just say they must be pretty pro this law.
Oh, sure.
Because it's a perennial annoyance, ruining quiet weekends in U.S. suburbia.
I'm feeling a lot better about my
That's how the
old man get off my lawnmower.
That's how the article starts. That's the first words in this article. The perennial annoyance ruining quiet weekends in U.S. suburbia. And then it goes in to say, like, the roar of the neighbor's lawnmower, the whine of a trimmer, and the howl of a leaf blower.
You know, when I was at Vincennes University,
I like the sound of a push mower or a lawnmower going. And the smells and it's like our friends at Hove Outdoor Power, like it was like the whole thing when we went over there for their spring sales event, and like the weed eaters and the lawnmowers and like the whole, like, it's good God, mow responsibly. It's like one of the biggest foundation blocks in this whole freaking podcast is like about mowing and weed eating and doing all that shit.
if you ask Zoe's boyfriend, William,
Yeah.
you get to the gas station, he'll go, I love the smell of gas.
Oh, good God.
Oh, that's another strike.
I had a hell of a good time till I turned 18. Then I found out what pussy and gasoline was. Famous words of Mr. Jesco White. But the thing is, it's like okay. Now let me say this for a minute.
Boy.
Now,
Can
let
we
me,
put this journalist on blast?
I don't know. Do you want to?
I really
Okay. Her
Listen,
name
Can we
is.
tag him?
Hold on. Now, for the sake of this podcast,
It's on the internet, so like surely we
but
can
here's
talk
the
about
thing
it.
about it. Our friend of the program, Matt Crane, who we hope to have on the show soon,
Oh, should we not be picking sides?
we probably shouldn't be attacking journalists until we have a conversation with him. Maybe we put this in the old tickler reminder.
Yeah, and then like
to bring up dumbass journalists
Because-
who write about stupid shit that they don't know anything about, and because of annoyance for an hour bothers them, but yet they'll go to downtown Los Angeles with a homeless population of 20,000 people, but a goddamn weed eater
And we
is
can't-
what bothers them.
we got to watch out for poop too.
Yeah, got to watch out to poo.
And heaven forbid we have a gas-powered pooper picker-upper. What did our buddy Mitch Carter say that whenever they come up with an
I feel like we shouldn't be named.
no, like a pitch, like you gotta, you come up, you come up with a story,
you pitch a story.
and then you pitch a story, and then whether if it gets drawn
Well, what
or
crackpot news organization did this person work for?
not. Bloomberg.
Well,
There, yeah.
oh my gosh.
But there you go. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
we are not.
their founder was the guy that entered the presidential race in the last month, wasted $100 million, and then got out of the race.
You know what it says immediately underneath this article?
Bloomberg doesn't support the views of this idiot.
No, that's 3. You've
I know.
met your quota. Calm down here, Nancy.
Hey, new year, new me. I'm coming in hot.
New rule may also trigger debate on similar to gas stove controversy. They're thinking
Oh.
about outlawing gas stoves in California.
You know what happened up on Ruby Ridge?
Oh God!
If you come from
take my propane stove.
you coming to get my gas stove, you're gonna meet every bit of ammunition I've got. I don't care.
Oh man, the California has its way.
I like it.
If California has its way, the racket will soon be on its way out. Now, this article was posted on November 20th of 2023. So little did this person know that it actually did. It went into effect.
This is
But it says that the rule isn't just about noise. It's not a noise control measure. It's primarily aimed at reducing emissions from small off-road engines that are more polluting than all of the cars in the state combined.
Oh, but we don't want to worry about the private jets.
Yeah.
These Hollywood actors,
Here we go.
these business people fly on that pollute just as much. Later in the show, this is a tease, Dave. We're going to talk about Taylor Swift, old T-Swizzle. And if we probably went after the Swifties, it might be some good pub for us because there's a lot of them online. And maybe that old adage.
Hey, I saw old girl from last week's a Swifty.
Old girl from last week. Dave, that's very descriptive, pal.
Your topic.
Gypsy.
Gypsy Rose.
Rose Blanchard.
Yeah,
Anyway, she's a Swifty.
She's
You better
been
watch
thought
it. She'll
about.
have you murdered.
that's okay.
Oh, God.
But she would have to plant over 2,000 trees to reduce the carbon that she alone has produced this year.
Oh, I'd say she's inspired Wood a time or two.
Just from her airplane. God damn.
Off the rails.
Anyway, it struck me as odd because like there are so many businesses, which now I will say this now somebody somewhere had to have known that this was coming. And I'm sure the internet's going to call me an ignorant hickerbilly that lives in Holland, Indiana, and that's fine because I am. But if you think about it, Steel, Steel, Echo, DeWalt,
Poland.
Milwaukee.
Oh, you're going for battery power.
Yeah, like a lot of these bigger power tool, like outdoor power tool companies have already been making, battery alternatives. Now, I will say this. I do own a Steel handheld chainsaw, like a little unit. And then my dad, I think, got a DeWalt. And then another friend of mine has a Milwaukee weed eater. And they're animals. They do pretty good. So, I mean, that I'm not really concerned with all that stuff. I think it goes back to the whole, God, I don't want to get on this soapbox, but like, don't tell me what I can and can't buy.
No,
You know
I'm
what I
with you
mean?
there. And I've only been to California twice. So I've got very limited knowledge, but I've been to Santa Clarita, which is a suburb of Los Angeles, and I've been to San Diego. And best I can tell, there's not a lot of lawn to be had there. But what I can tell you about the areas that I've been in is that it's a lot of commercial space.
Yeah.
Been there, one of the 2 times was for like a trade show, I guess you'd call it. And just the amount of the carbon footprint, I guess, that you leave just from keeping one of those places heated or cooled. And then you've got how many sports stadiums are in California because, we got like Lucas Oil Stadium, but that's the biggest one in the state and probably nothing compares to that, I'd say, in Indiana. But out there, you've got multiple professional sports complexes, I believe, right? You've got basketball, baseball, and football and hockey all out there.
I think the thing that kills me is I guess I just don't understand. It says using small gas powered equipment like leaf blowers and generators ends up being much worse for the environment than driving a car for the same amount of time, which is why California's Air Resources Board have pushed the state politicians to take action. The new law, AB 1346, will require the state to adopt these regulations around these gas powered tools by July 1 of 2022. And ban their sale start January 1 of 24. I don't know, man. It's wild to me to
I'd
think.
say they're probably going to end up finding a way to tax them. And I would say most of California is commercial, golf courses or mowing companies. I'd say not too many consumers are out there mowing their own grass in California.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of California, though, Dave. You think about that. Northern Cal, like up there where all those big green, all
Sure.
the pot farms and all that, like Northern California up in the mountains and all these dudes up there, taking care.
This law wasn't written for that.
But I understand that, but that's still blanketly covered. They
Oh,
they still
absolutely.
live in California.
I'd say, though, it's all these heavily populated places.
For
They're going to
sure.
figure out how to tax it and make extra money on it to try to figure out how to get their water to come back.
Well, I get that, but I don't know. I was reading through that and I couldn't believe that Jesus Christ. So this is in Car and Driver on the internet. So it's got to be true.
Oh, yeah, on the internet.
1 hour of lawnmower use is equivalent to driving 300 miles from LA to Vegas.
What?
In a car.
In what car?
Exactly. 1 hour of leaf blower use is equivalent to driving 1,100 miles from LA to Denver, like in the emissions. Is that because those leaf blowers, the
It's just
two-cycle
because they
oil,
run so rich.
and
I'd
they
say.
burn worse?
Because they're two-stroke. You're burning oil in them on purpose.
Unbelievable, man. I don't know. I guess I'm just ignorant. I guess
No.
I'm just-
I'm not saying you're ignorant. I'm not saying even I agree with it. It's just you get them politicians, and I think we was talking about con artists last week when we got to old Gypsy Rose. What's your nuts?
Yeah.
And that's all them politicians are. They're just trying to figure out.
So
how
this
to
guy,
pass a
so this on Car and Driver, this opens up to like a thread, it's almost like a forum, right? Like so there's
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah.
of comment thread. The first guy, what about forestry chainsaws in large scale trimming work where you don't have access to an electric outlet? You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine all these? There again, Northern California.
But I am
timber
pro
cutters.
electric vehicle and pro electric everything. But the amount of power it takes to charge all those things, I mean, you're not. It's not like
Where's
a
that
trade
carbon?
off.
Where's that carbon?
That's what I'm
foot-
saying.
Yeah, like
And
there's-
you're probably worse for the place that the power plant is because you're a highly concentrated amount of carbon footprint in one area.
Honest question here. What about all the old batteries? Surely they'll be an issue. I know recycling can be an option, but what about people? How many people out there will actually do so? Seems like that issue is more
Oh, boy.
worse than the one thinking about it.
So I was doing some research as this goes on.
I noticed
And I know that I'm labeled as anti-green energy. Shout out Shirley's. But here's my problem with it. I don't know that you can do it on a large scale. And that was my whole point way back when I hijacked your topic about electric vehicles. I think it's great in theories. You want to know who has one of the worst electric grids in this country?
Yeah.
California.
California.
Do you want to know who's backed away from shutting down some of their energy plants because they've recognized and realized they cannot produce enough energy for their citizens?
California.
You
That's
want to,
why they're shutting down weed whackers because they got to.
but here's the problem.
So much pollution.
12 billionaires, 12, 1, 2, 12 people,
Between 10 and 13.
12
11.
billionaires' climate emissions outpollute 2.1 million homes. 2.1 million homes. 12 people outpollute for what they do. Let's see.
We could read until we are blue in the face about how this law doesn't mean it's stupid.
But the
because of the, like you said,
But do you know
12 people.
The crazy thing of it is, I was reading an article, and it was a scholarly article about
Esquire.
yeah. Anyways,
To be fair.
but it was talking about mining for these precious metals. You need copper, you need cobalt, you need zinc, you need all these other things.
Lithium.
Lithium.
yeah.
I challenge
nasty.
anybody that wants to die on the clean energy hill to go ahead and check out how you get those precious materials.
Oh, I know.
I want you to go do the research and look it up. Because if you're going to Africa, guess what? There's kids in those mines picking those precious metals.
Yeah.
There's
They're
mines.
also digging coal.
There's mines bigger than what some of we would think local coal mines are
Oh, yeah.
because they've gone to get these metals.
You can see it from space.
And the problem of it is you can't produce at the max level.
no.
And in Elon Musk, his business is Tesla. He's in the green energy thing. Elon, how are we going to do this? Technology's not there yet.
But it will be.
It will.
could be.
But when?
Right.
Well, but it's
For you right
again
now,
back to solar panels
For
So
states to mandate this stuff right now when it's not possibly
Agreed.
feasible
No, agreed.
is
I think
unreal.
when my dad when they said I think I'm now this is me shooting from the hip and I don't have time to fact check it. But the grid in this area is not necessarily conducive to solar.
DC power feeding back in.
Exactly, because of the AC DC difference. And I think in order for I can't remember what number my dad said one time, in order to like retrofit that small little juice box down there on the river where my dad works, in order for it to be conducive for that, like solar and renewable energy, the multi-millions of dollars that it would take in order to make it feasible. And it's not. It's not.
You know where we really need to be? Nuclear.
Oh, well, AEP's, the company my dad works for, they have a couple of nukes. They got a couple plants.
And I understand, like,
Until
there's
that bitch leaks and then we all start growing horns.
We're probably growing them anyway, just slow.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I guess all I'm saying from a technology standpoint, I don't think I'm sure solar panels have advanced, and I've said this on the podcast before. But what made the difference is how efficient everything else has become. LED light bulbs.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, incandescent light bulbs, I imagine a solar panel wouldn't keep your house lit up for 2 or 3 hours.
No
at the end of the day.
way. Not a chance.
But now with the low power consumption of light emitting diodes,
don't get me. Yeah,
it's just now. But heating and cooling still an issue. We haven't figured it out. There's
No.
a lot to overcome there.
for sure.
But TVs are LEDs, sound, everything else other than the damn heating and air.
yeah,
Pumps are expensive,
yeah.
or they're inefficient, I guess.
Well, this brings me to the closing statement in this topic. We don't live in California.
Hell no.
Go see our friends at Hope Outdoor Power and get your new Echo Weed Eater.
Hey,
blower
if
anytime.
Indiana came for our friends at Hope Outdoor Power,
We'd fight them.
I'd chain myself to the front door over
Yeah,
there.
we would do a public protest.
Hell no, we won't go.
Hell no. I'd want
Hey,
to.
and I just want to let the Shirleys know before the next time I see him, I am not anti-green energy.
Mm-mm.
I'm not.
No.
Part of me doesn't believe the government should mandate it, which, Dave, you should be proud of that.
I am proud of that.
The other part of it is the technology's just not there.